curious, the US Navy experienced a catastrophic failure mid-air. Two EA-18G Growler fighter jets collided directly with each other during a routine flight. These specific aircraft are equipped with highly advanced, redundant navigational systems. For a mid-air collision to occur, multiple layers of safety protocols and fail-safes have to simultaneously break down. In a fraction of a second, millions of dollars of hardware were destroyed. With the planes instantly disintegrating, the 4 pilots inside had less than a second to violently eject. Thankfully, the ejection seats functioned properly, and all 4 crew members survived the immediate blast. For decades, the United States military has operated as the historically undisputed king of the global skies. An aircraft carrier like this projects invulnerability. But right now, the data tells a different story. The Growler collision is a highly visible symptom of a broader operational breakdown. The U.S. military is currently absorbing a sudden, sharp increase in hardware and asset losses across multiple theaters. American military aviation is buckling under pressure on 3 distinct fronts: operational safety, combat effectiveness, and diplomatic leverage. When the aerospace network that enforces global stability starts bleeding assets on all 3 of these fronts, neutral nations take notice, and the global balance of power begins to shift. During the recent campaign against Iranian forces, dubbed Operation Epic Fury, tactical execution completely fell apart. This chart highlights the anomaly. After years of near-zero combat losses, a sudden spike shows 25 U.S. aircraft lost recently. The technological mismatch is staggering. Despite depleted air defenses, Iran successfully shot down these top-tier assets. The sharpest blow was losing an F-15 fighter jet. A heavily sanctioned adversary successfully targeted and destroyed one of the core staples on American air power. These combat losses strip away the long-held assumption of American aerial invulnerability. The airspace is heavily contested, and older defense technology is successfully hitting modern stealth and speed. Combat reliability directly impacts international defense contracts. When high-profile jets go down in combat, allied nations actively reevaluate their own military spending and strategic partnerships. We saw this play out in India. The Indian government recently held a massive multi-billion-dollar tender to update their medium multi-role combat aircraft. The U.S. government aggressively lobbied for American aerospace giants Lockheed Martin and Boeing to secure the deal. India reviewed the operational data and entirely eliminated both the American F-A-18 and the F-35 from consideration. Instead, they bypassed the U.S. completely and purchased French Rafale jets. When a major global power actively rejects heavy diplomatic pressure to buy from a competitor, it exposes a deep lack of confidence in the reliability of the U.S. aerospace monopoly. A lost contract of that magnitude triggers immediate economic consequences for defense contractors back in the United States. Following the rejection from India, Boeing announced a drastic operational pivot. By 2025, production of the F/A-18 Super Hornet will completely shut down. To compensate for losing their flagship carrier jet, Boeing is executing an emergency strategy to aggressively market and sell the F-15 to international buyers. There is a fatal flaw in this recovery plan. The F-15's combat reputation is exactly what was undermined by the recent shootdowns over Iran. Defense contractors are caught in an inescapable loop, trying to sell hardware that foreign governments just watched fall out of the sky. The U.S. Air Force and Navy are currently bleeding high-value assets in mid-air collisions, losing multi-billion-dollar contracts to European competitors, and exposing deep technological vulnerabilities in active combat zones. This weakened operational state is colliding with the ticking clock of modern geopolitics. The threat of an expanded, large-scale conflict in the Middle East is growing rapidly. U.S. leadership has issued strict ultimatums, demanding immediate capitulation from adversaries. The messaging is highly aggressive, indicating that if those demands are not met, a major military response is imminent. Executing a new military operation or a ground invasion requires massive, high-risk carpet bombing campaigns to forcefully resecure the airspace for incoming troops. That campaign will serve as a desperate, high-stakes audition. The military has to prove it can execute these missions without suffering the severe hardware losses that have plagued recent operations. The next time American jets launch into contested skies, the objective is twofold: neutralize the targets on the ground and prove to a highly skeptical global audience that the U.S. aerospace machine can still deliver on its guarantees.